As I was preparing for this topic and this meditation, I couldn't escape the fact that I personally have felt like I've been on a pursuit of wholeness for so many years or decades. Maybe since I first noticed a sense of lack within myself or a sense of dis-ease. And so, and I always felt like I would read self-help books or, get my Brene Brown out, or before Brene Brown, there was a whole host of self-help books out there. And I would read the books and I would think, oh, I've got this. Okay, I nailed down this one aspect, but I definitely am not there yet. Maybe I got some good practices underway. I certainly have a journaling practice, a meditation practice. I have all these tools at my disposal. Why don't I have a sense of groundedness, peace, a sense of wholeness? And as I was preparing tonight, I was realizing that the definition of wholeness, I'm going to read it for you. The definition of wholeness is the state of forming. First of all, the state of forming. So it's not that we have completed and formed, but it's a state of forming. It's active. It's coming together and forming and shaping something. So I thought that was interesting. I always thought like wholeness came once I've arrived. Like I've arrived, I'm there, and now I'm whole, But even embodied in the definition of wholeness is a sentiment of formation, forming. There's movement, there's flow. The state of forming a complete and harmonious whole. So I think along with peace and groundedness, harmony, something that's harmonious. And that word forming, it's on my mind a lot, that it's something that you continue to build upon. In fact, it has an essence of creation. You're still creating. You yourself are still becoming created. You're still forming. And so the state of forming a complete and harmonious whole, we're going to meditate on that tonight. And I thought, what better way to meditate on wholeness than to maybe consider its opposite? What are the things that keep us from feeling whole? And, when I thought about wholeness as like a coming together, this formation, and in a way, the parts of me that have often not felt whole have felt separated. There's a separateness, a distance internally. The parts of me that I've kept in the shadows, or I've kept hidden, or I've kept masked, whether maybe I'm aware of them, but I put a mask on for different audiences, or maybe I've buried it and I'm really not even aware of it. But that separateness, I think, is part of what hinders that sense of harmonious completeness, isn't it? It's almost like these two are on opposite ends of the spectrum, wholeness and separateness. And so I thought we would just consider a few ways that we can become separated from ourselves and separated from our whole self, separated from our harmonious self, and invite those parts of us that have been separated or maybe are presently separated, invite them to this harmonious wholeness that we're creating for ourselves tonight. So, in thinking about parts of ourselves that could be separated, oftentimes that separation comes with a burden. It's not like, oh, I had such a wonderful experience, but now I'm hiding it in the shadows. It typically, when a part of ourselves has been separated from the whole, it's because it's carrying a wound. It's been hurt, it's wounded, maybe it's been neglected, maybe there's an offense that was done, maybe it's love that wasn't given, so maybe it's the absence of something or the presence of something painful. And these fractures or burdens or wounds, whatever we want to call them, I think sometimes we expect that well, I had a good life and I had great, relationships. And so why would I have parts of me that are separated or in hiding? But sometimes it doesn't have to be some major trauma. It doesn't have to be some major event or a significant person who's traumatized you. Sometimes it's life. Sometimes it's rejection from a lover. Sometimes it's a teacher who was brutal. Sometimes it's feeling like you're a part of a community that's not accepting you for who you really are. And so you're wearing a mask and you become separated from who you really are. All of those things can lead to parts of us being in the shadows. One of the things that I realized was I even had an internalized voice myself where, I could beat myself up better than anybody. I knew better. I was better educated. I knew better than to make these mistakes. How dare I might make this mistake, Sometimes it's images, the social norms. I'm not the right body type. I don't have the right look. I don't have the right temperament. And so those sorts of societal norms or pressures can almost take an internalized role, an internalized voice. And so I invite you to consider all of those parts that might be in the shadows, whether they were there from a significant event, whether there's parts of you in the shadows that maybe are kind of ready to come forward and be part of the whole, part of that harmonious whole. Just to whatever resonates with you in the meditation tonight, receive it. And I'm going to give some cues for us to do a little searching in the shadows and under the bed and behind the curtains and see who's there. And for you, if that doesn't resonate with you, then just welcome the energy and the essence of wholeness and that harmonious coming together. When you're ready, I'm going to guide us in a seated meditation, but of course you're welcome to do it lying down. I do chair meditations for this, but you're welcome to sit cross-legged on the floor, especially if you're a really well-exercised, well-versed meditator. I'm going to give the cues from a seated chair position. Okay, so with your feet, soles of the feet firmly planted on the ground. Connecting to ground, we said one of the things that was named as offering an attribute of wholeness is when you have that sense of groundedness and peace. So we're going to create a lot of extra groundedness tonight. Soles of the feet are on the ground, seat is pressed against the chair, backs of the thighs, palms, hands are comfortably resting in your lap, maybe palms facing up. You could let them rest by your side. And we're going to bring our attention to the breath. And if you feel comfortable and if it feels safe for you, then you're welcome to close your eyes. Kind of deepen into this meditative posture. If that doesn't quite feel right just yet, you're welcome to just kind of soften your gaze. Maybe letting your eyes rest on the ground in front of you. And bringing the attention of the breath, inhaling in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Letting the breath take its natural rhythm, in through the nose, and exhaling through the mouth. And as you bring the awareness to the breath, we're going to deepen our inhale and lengthen the exhale through the mouth. Deepening the in-breath And exhaling through the mouth with a bit of force, a bit of energy on the exhale. As we increase our sense of groundedness, keeping the length of the inhale a little longer, energizing the breath on the exhale. We're going to activate the soles of the feet, pressing the right foot into the ground. Just a little bit of pressure on the right foot pressed into the ground. If you're lying down, you can tighten the muscles in the right leg. Holding that for a few deep inhales and energized exhales. Now relaxing the right leg and pressing the left foot against the ground, tightening the muscles in the left leg, increasing the left foot's connection to ground as you inhale in through the nose and energize that exhale through the mouth. Pressing the left sole of the foot to the ground, increasing that connection to ground as you breathe. Keeping the awareness of the breath, releasing that left foot, the pressure, sitting comfortably. And on the next cycle of breath, pressing both soles of the feet against the ground. Inhaling in through the nose, deepening the inhale. Pressing both feet down against the ground, activating the muscles in both legs. And energizing the breath upon exhale. Pressing both feet against the ground, keeping them pressed firmly against the ground. And release the feet. Bringing the attention to the breath. And in the spirit of increasing our sense of groundedness and presence, I invite you to take both hands in front of you, palms facing each other. Enjoying that deep inhale and an energized exhale through the mouth. Press the palms of the hands together, energizing the muscles all the way through the chest, pressing the palms together as you inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Pressing the palms together, inhaling in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Create this energy between two hands. One more breath cycle, here you go. Inhale in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. You can release your hands back to your lap, to your sides. Notice if you feel a little more present. Keeping the attention in the breath with a deep inhale in through the nose and an energized exhale through the mouth. Notice if you can relax the muscles around the mouth and the jaw. Just a little more. With each inhale and each exhale, see if you can soften the muscles around the eyes, the forehead, as we bring our attention to the breath. We inhale a spirit of curiosity for what lies inside of us as we think about wholeness. The desire for groundedness, peace, a harmonious sense of completion, formation, inhaling a sense of curiosity, curiosity for whatever is inside that feels separated. Curiosity for whatever's inside that's been masked. Maybe something that's been dormant. Maybe a part of us that hasn't been well nurtured. Just bringing a sense of curiosity and compassion as we explore our inner worlds for whatever has felt separated. Bringing the attention to the breath, inhaling in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling curiosity and compassion. As we invite the parts of ourselves that have been separated to have a little light shone on them. Maybe there are parts of ourselves that didn't fit into our community or our family. Maybe a part that felt too big, too much energy. Maybe it's a part that was quite shy. Just welcoming that with compassion. There's no shame here. Breathing in curiosity and compassion. Seeing if there's any part of us that ever felt unworthy, like it didn't belong or didn't deserve to belong. The parts of us that feel unworthy, we welcome them to come out from the shadow as we extend compassion. Maybe there are parts of us that feel like they just never measured up, or they don't measure up in a certain way. Maybe we didn't have the right body or the right clothes. Maybe we didn't have the right education. Maybe we didn't have the right family. Maybe we didn't fit the social norm. All those parts are welcome tonight with compassion. All those parts that just feel like they haven't measured up. Maybe there's parts that have really felt overpowered. I feel quite vulnerable and scared to come out from the shadow. Or scared to be a part of the whole. Maybe someone's hurt them. Maybe an institution or a culture wounded that part of us. Maybe there's a part of you that's really suffered, that's felt victimized or overpowered. And we breathe in curiosity and compassion for those parts. They're welcome here tonight, even with all their concerns. Inhaling in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, relaxing the face, the jaw, softening the eyes. Letting the shoulders rest down, chest is lifted. Breathing clearly in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Maybe there's parts tonight that were abandoned by you. Maybe on your road to success, your creative parts got abandoned. Maybe as you had to become dutiful and responsible, your playful parts got abandoned. Maybe because you had to be so strong to prove yourself, to succeed, to fight, to survive. Maybe the vulnerable parts of you got abandoned. We're welcoming all those parts tonight. As we inhale in through the nose and exhale through the mouth, we welcome those parts with curiosity and compassion. And in your mind's eye, I invite you to open your arms. Maybe you can lift the palms of your hands as a gesture. You can repeat after me, whether it's inside your heart or if you want to say it out loud. All of these parts of me are welcome. In loving kindness, I welcome every part of me to the whole. There is no shame here. All my parts, all these parts of me are worthy of love. They're worthy of a home inside of me. All these parts are worthy of compassion. They're worthy of my curiosity. All the parts of me that have been separated from the whole are welcome. All these parts of me that have been separated from the whole are welcome in loving kindness. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. When you're ready, you can come back into the room. Welcome back to our little meditation, wholeness meditation. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on our meditation on wholeness. Wow, that was quite an exploration into separateness and separatedness. I, for one, feel a deep sense of gratitude for all the different parts of me that kind of showed up and reminded me that I need to increase my compassion within. And tune in a little bit to the parts of me that like to go hiding, that are a bit shy or overwhelmed or feel unworthy. The history of unworthiness. That is all welcome. Thank you so much for joining me.